Welcome into the End Zone pregame, everybody. I'm your host, Jake Wallace. We are approaching 4.5 hours to kick off tonight for week one of the high school football season. Of course, we kicked off the season last week. What an exciting week it was. Ready to get back to it tonight, but we do have to open the show with some breaking news. One of our top games this evening no longer happening. Chatham County Schools announcing just within the last hour that the game between Jenkins and Beach tonight is off. Chatham County Schools putting out this statement right around the 2 o'clock hour. Quote, as a result of identified COVID cases that have the potential for transmission among game participants, the Beach versus Jenkins football game for tonight has been canceled. Chatham County Schools is committed to taking steps that mitigate the potential for additional COVID-19 transmission in our community. The statement goes on to say staff are working to determine the possibility of rescheduling the game. So the breaking news that we've had, that is now the 10th game in our area that won't happen this evening due to COVID-19, and let's just go ahead and say it. This is something that we've been dealing with for more than a year now. Clearly, high school football takes a back seat when it comes to health and safety. So well wishes to anyone on any program that's dealing with COVID-19 and the impact of it. High school football certainly not nearly as important as the health and safety of all of our players, all of our coaches, all of our fans. And so Jenkins and Beach, now the 10th game in our area that won't happen this evening. That was one of the games we were really looking forward to, especially that matchup between head coaches Tony Welch at Jenkins and Michael Thompson at Beach. We actually spoke to Tony Welch. He was going to be our Coach Speak segment today, but obviously that will not happen now as that game canceled tonight, quote, as a result of identified COVID cases, according to Chatham County Schools. So, like we mentioned, high school football not nearly as important as the health and safety of everybody, but we do have some games happening tonight, and we know that's what you're here for. So let's talk about some of those games, and let's get to our question of the week, and this is it. Pretty simple. What team impressed you the most in week 0? In fact, don't even make it a team. Make it a player if you want to. Who impressed you the most last Friday night? If you're watching us on Facebook, send in put them in the comments. We'll get back to those questions in just a few minutes. Want to see your answers. Let us know who impressed you the most in week 0. Speaking of impressive, how about our game of the week? Kicking off here in about 3.5 hours, it's Benedictine opening their 2021 season, taking on Christopher Columbus High School out of Miami, Florida, the largest private school in the state of Florida. But on to Benedictine. This team is loaded with talent, looking to build off of last year's state semifinal appearance. Our Danny Britt and the Cadets looking to get back to the top of the state rankings in Class 4A. The Cadets loaded with talent opening the season tonight. You got Holden Garner leading the offense. He's headed to Auburn when his high school career is over. How about Justin Thomas at wide receiver? He's going to go to Georgia and play baseball. This team has talent all over the field, offensively and defensively, but they're going to get a pretty big test this evening when they take on Christopher Columbus High School out of Miami, Florida. And let's tell you just a little bit about the Explorers that are making the long drive up to Savannah. This is a team that won the Class A state championship in 2019, Class 8A. That's the largest class in the state of Florida. Obviously, last year, things were a little different all over the country. The team won the Tri-County Championship after going undefeated down there in Miami. And you can see the record, 33-5 over the last 3 seasons are the Explorers. This is a game tonight between Columbus and Benedictine that's going to feature a lot of talent that you will see on the college fields on Saturday in the very, very near future. Look forward to this game. An early start on this one, 6:30 over at Memorial Stadium. Our Lindsey Goff will be there live for the news at 6, and it'll lead off the End Zone tonight as the Cadets look to start off their season, you can say, punching up against a team from the biggest class in the state of Florida. How about another game that we're going to be watching tonight, and I'll be at over in Springfield? It's Buford playing their second straight game against a Georgia opponent. The Eagles coming across state lines this time to take on Effingham County. The Rebels making the debut under new head coach John Ford. Of course, the Eagles picking up a win last week over a very short-handed Richmond Hill squad, but that's not to take anything away from the Eagles. They won this game 28-8, looking to go 2-0 against Georgia teams as the Rebels tonight look to start off their 2021 season under new head coach John Ford the right way with a win over a pretty game Buford squad. That one's going to be a lot of fun to watch tonight in Springfield at Rebel Field. I'll be there, and you'll see the highlights tonight on the End Zone. Just a few more of the games that we'll be watching this evening. We mentioned those first two, Columbus at Benedictine, Buford at Effingham County. How about this one? New Hampstead taking on Johnson. The Phoenix coming off a big win over Windsor Forest last week. Johnson going to look to bounce back after dropping their season opener at Augusta Christian last Thursday. Calvary Day, they knocked off the defending state champs last week in Prince Avenue Christian at home. Now Mark Stroud's very talented Cavalier team traveling to Statesboro to take on a Bullock Academy team that's got a lot of talent themselves. The Cavaliers cannot sleep on the Gators as Calvary looks to move to 2-0 on the season. Metter rallied past Swainsboro last week. The Tigers hosting South Effingham tonight. This was one of our games of the week a year ago. Metter put a pretty good beating on the young Mustangs. We'll see how Nathan Clark's South Effingham team responds as they travel up to where everything is better tonight to take on Metter. And then how about an old school Savannah private school rivalry? Bethesda taking on St. Andrews this evening. That's kind of a new look team for both of these squads. Going to be a lot of fun over on Whitmarsh Island tonight. You'll see all 6 of those games and a whole lot more coming up tonight on the End Zone during the news at 11. Let's get to the action from last night, a good one over at Memorial Stadium. Islands taking on Windsor Forest, and this Cooper Bachman field goal right at the start of the second quarter made it 9-0 Sharks. But here come the Knights. Chris Glover to Trayvon Savage over the middle, and Savage will do the rest. Crossing down the sideline, and he's not going to be caught. That catch and run touchdown made it 9-6 Islands, and here comes Windsor Forest again. Dante Dorman to a Bossy Scott. Go get it, young fella. That gave the Knights the lead. They would not look back. 20 unanswered for Windsor Forest as they go on to beat Islands this evening, Thursday evening, 20-9, and get back to 500. The Knights now 1-1 on the season. So that's going to do it for our show this evening. We had a couple things cut out after that Jenkins Beach game got canceled. We were planning to speak with Jenkins head coach Tony Welch, but now that that game has been canceled, we'll hold off on that. We'll bring Coach Welch back another time later this year. Really looking forward to what is shaping up to be an excellent Friday night, even with several games in our area canceled. Mentioned the question of the week earlier. What team impressed you the most? A. Simone Moody writing in. How about that Bryan County team doing it, going to Butler, winning 38-12, a big win for the boys from Bryan County. They had a number of players out due to contact tracing as well. It didn't matter as Bryan County picks up the win. So a good call there on one of the teams that impressed us the most last week. Really looking forward to week 1 of the season. I say in air quotes as it is actually week 2, but whatever. We got to call it week 0 for whatever reason. But here are the games to watch again tonight. You'll see all 6 of these and even more coming up tonight on the End Zone. Join Lindsay for the news at 6. She'll have another breakdown of our game of the week, Columbus at Benedictine. That's during the news at 6. Check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll have updates from all over Southeast Georgia and the Low Country. And then we'll see you tonight for the End Zone to see all the highlights, all the recaps, all the scores from games all across our area. That's in the End Zone tonight during the news at 11. We'll see you around 11:15. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you again tonight.